David Dobrik, thank you so much for being on our show. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming back to us.
Yeah, it was a far drive. Thanks for having
me. I thought about you when we first started these shows from home, because I think you're great at what you do. You're a YouTube superstar. You just do it seamlessly, and I go, oh yeah, I'll do that. You know, it won't be. Right. It's so much work. It's insane. It?
Oh, okay. I have questions. Are you doing it completely on your own, or who's? I imagine when you do these, there's still 35 people standing behind your webcam. Like, I know you're on. No, prove it. Oh my God.
Just me. There's no one here. Just me. Right now, my one child is homeschooling. The other one is on, like, I think an iPad right now next to my wife, who's next to it's like everyone's in a room pushed away because they know I'm doing interviews.
It feels like it's to the point where you're not even posting these anywhere. You're just interviewing people just because you miss it. It just looks like you're just by yourself. You're just like, I need interviews.
Talk to me, anyone. I need advice, and I need to know what am I doing wrong?
I'm okay. I said this right when you called me. I'm so shocked that you're on an iPad. It says Jimmy's iPad. I think that's really cute. It's like really humble. I still imagine for some reason, like, even though you're doing it at home, like, I just expected like these big cameras still pointing at you in some way.
You know, it's funny because I was like, I should call you because I want to know what camera should I get. There's like a Logitech thing. I should probably do it on a laptop, right?
Yeah, I think a laptop or like a desktop is definitely better.
It's better, but just then I can't move around and be like,
right.
The best parts of the interview is when I start moving and stuff.
Oh, you're right. It is getting pretty good.
Isn't this more fun?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely don't get a desktop.
Don't you like this version of the Tonight Show? It's so much freer.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any advice for like shooting off a webcam. I would just say get a desk. Did you go into, what did you do? What did you do to prepare for this? Did you go to Best Buy? What happened?
I went to a PC Richards, like a Best Buy, and I bought a tripod that holds a phone.
Like you went in there yourself, or like an assistant? Yeah. You went in there.
Yeah, I drove my truck to the PC Richards. Like,
so you went into the store and you told the employee there, like, hey, it's me, Jimmy. I have a late night show and I need you to help me figure out how to continue it.
I just kind of went around everybody and just kind of act like I knew where I was and what I was doing and what aisle. I'm like, I do that at like hardware stores too, because clearly I don't know. Right. I don't know. They can just tell I have a vibe coming off me when I go. Like, I get the "Can I help you" vibe. No matter what store I'm in, they go like, "How you doing? Can I help you?" And I go, "Yeah." I look like that, right? I look like I need help. They go, "Yeah, you look like you need help." I go, but I try to act. I go, "Oh, yeah, I know. I got to get the wrench for the thing," and I get it. Then like 2 hours later, I leave with a tripod, and I feel good about myself.
Sure.
But then, what's funny is that I saw something. When we were talking, when you were on the show, I said, would you ever want to do a show like this? And you said, yeah, I actually would. I think I'd be good at this type of show. I mean, it'd be amazing. I go, and we were talking about that. And then I saw this headline in the Wall Street Journal that said, David Dobrik is this generation's Gen Z's Jimmy Fallon. I know.
I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm my generation's David Dobrik.
Shut up.
And that's what's happening. We Freaky Friday that moment.
That means a lot. And I'm not showing it, but I'm probably going to freak out about it and text my parents who said that.
You stopped making videos during this quarantine, except for one, which I want to get into. But what was behind the decision there?
I knew that I can make the videos that I wanted to. And like a lot of my videos like involve like traveling or going out to, especially a lot of random people, like interacting with strangers is like such a big part of my videos. And I didn't want to water down the videos and like do them at my home, because I actually used, I used you as an example, because I was like, Jimmy Fallon he can do stuff at home because he has a studio to like bounce back to, and people will know when it's back to regular Jimmy. But I feel like if I start making YouTube videos at home and then slowly start inching out of my house and like quarantine's kind of over and I'm like out and about, people aren't going to know like when is the regular David coming back? And when are we done with like this different kind of David, right? So it's like,
right.
I'd rather just completely quit and wait till I can make the videos that I want to be making completely. I actually set like a goal for myself. There's a bar down the street that we always go to. And I said, once it's reopened at full capacity, I will start making videos again.
All right, so there you go. That's the goal. You have to have goals. Can I talk about the one video you have done since being in quarantine?
Sure.
You did a YouTube a video, and you basically gave out your phone number.
Right. Yeah. So I gave out a number that's connected to my phone that like people can text me, and it's really great because I had around like 350,000 people text me, which was nuts. And the best part about it is we could in the app we can choose where the numbers are coming from. So I could go like, okay, I'm in Orange County today. Let's see who needs help in Orange County. So I just single out the people in Orange County, and then I would single out like mortgage. So I would see all the people that need help with their mortgage. So there'd be like a list of people, and they'd send us their address. And yeah, in the video we gave out like iPads, PlayStations. We paid for a bunch of people's rent, and then we gave out a couple cars. And that was all based on text from everybody like texting in.
That's pretty amazing. It's unbelievable to watch. If anyone hasn't seen it, I invite everyone to check it out.
Thanks.
The one thing I noticed is that at the end you couldn't hug these people because we're in quarantine.
I couldn't touch anybody, which was just hard for me. Yeah, it's such a bizarre thing giving to somebody and like not being able to like have that interaction. It was so bizarre, and it was like people would start crying, and I'd just be in the car and I'd be like, okay, I gotta go now. Like it was a very weird interaction, but it was really fun.
It was nice of you to do that, and
thanks. It's so fun.
I also know that you've been going to a few Black Lives Matter protests.
Right,
and,
yeah.
You gave $50,000.
Sure, yeah.
That's amazing. That's not a drop in the bucket. That's a lot of money.
I went to the first protest I went to was in Santa Monica, and like I felt like I had a pretty good idea of what to expect, and it was just like I felt like I was hit by a train when I was there. Like it's so eye-opening to see people, like, you know, you read and hear things on Twitter and like, you know, on the news, but like to be there in person and to experience like how angry and fed up and over people are with things not changing is a completely different thing. And it was inspiring to me to like, you know, want to get involved, as cheesy as that sounds, but like, it was just inspiring to see like, oh my God, these people, like a lot of these people need a voice, like, and a lot of them are finally being heard. And like, that's why I felt like it was my job to get involved in some way, whether it's educating myself or amplifying other people's voices that maybe aren't being heard. I don't know.
Yeah. It was, I thought it was great that you were doing that. And always there's going to be some people kind of like, hey, why are you getting so political?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely got that too, but it's not I don't like getting political, but this isn't political. It's moral, right? Like you shouldn't have to say racism is bad. Like that shouldn't be a thing that I have to like say at this time. Like I feel like that should be a pretty obvious thing. But yeah, it's a complete moral issue that is way overdue for some change.
Well, I think it's, you know, YouTubers, influencers are actually using social media, I think, in a real positive way. Would you agree?
That's the best part about like all the protests today is they're powered by social media. I think Will Smith said this, I could be wrong, but he said something like something along the lines of like racism isn't new, it's just being filmed or something like that. Like basically saying that like now people are recording and now everyone sees what Black people have been going through for the past, you know, X amount of years. And I think that's the best way to put it. And my friend Scott said it the best. He's like, if you don't have any words to say, but you choose to agree with somebody, or you don't know how to put it into your own perspective, amplify someone else's voice that you agree with. Like give someone a voice that maybe can't reach as many people as you do. And I feel like a lot of influencers are doing that, and I really commend them for that. I think it's cool.
David, thank you for doing that. Thank you for continuing to do positive, great stuff and putting it out there. And once Saddle Ranch is up and running, I expect notification on my phone letting me know that you're back in biz.
See ya.
Bye, bud.
Bye.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on and on and on.